I'm ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
We like the same stuff.
Yeah, before you know it, you know.
Oh my God, it's the all-American love story.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. I missed you guys. Seems like it's been forever.
Just a couple days off. It does feel like a long time.
It does. You were bummed at me because of the way I was going out. I was like, oh, I'll see.
Right, yeah, that's right. Friday. Okay, I guess we'll see you Friday.
Come on, this is a good thing. Fire up, man.
I'm excited. I feel good today, Mike.
I do as well. I feel very good, ready to go. I missed you guys, and so yeah, welcome to the Detroit Cast. It's a Monday edition, so it's gonna be a long week. We're just getting started now. And we got a lot to get to. Dare I say a big show. Jay is here.
It's a big show.
Eric is here. Timko is here. I am Mike. I am here as well. And you stuff 40 grand in your bra, try to get through, and all of a sudden it's just not your money anymore. We'll discuss that. Also, Tony Stewart is out murdering people on the track.
Damn.
I don't know what's going on with your now we got jogging is absolute health hazard. So is NASCAR apparently. And the Tigers, I think, are in the 46th inning of their game yesterday. So it was who knew it was a 2-for-1 game, but maybe a 3-for-1. We'll talk about that in a minute. But why don't we start with ISIS? And
did you expect this? Did you expect Obama to take action like this?
No, I didn't, because he built his presidency. We built this presidency.
Is there a worse song than that, by the way?
No, there's not.
Fuck.
No.
Sorry, I digress.
No.
Yeah, no, he built it on, we're getting out of this shit. Everybody's tired of it.
It's costing a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way he got back into it is kind of savvy. He termed it a humanitarian effort.
I love it. That's funny, actually. It's not a bad way to go.
And he latched onto this idea, well, we got to protect religion.
Will we put feet on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
We're not putting feet on the ground. It's going to just be this aerial attack, which I don't get, because he's talking how it's going to take months. Months? Why?
I don't know.
Just start dropping shit. Let's go.
Agreed.
Be done with it overnight.
Yeah,
24 hours.
I saw a quote from a Democratic senator just saying, I don't think we can take out ISIS from a military point of view from use of airstrikes. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Because what you hear about them is that they are more of a traditional fighting force.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Al-Qaeda and those assholes is they infiltrate towns and you wouldn't know who's who, and you'd step on shit. You'd walk down the road and they'd blow shit up as you're walking through.
Yeah.
These guys are more traditionally moving as
they're
a military. Yeah, with tanks and shit.
Yeah, and collecting people and weapons and money as they go. But I think what really pissed off the president was the fact that they're so blatant with their disregard for human life.
Burying people alive and stuff.
Yeah, they're just nasty. Women, children, they don't care. And we had these people on this mountaintop, tens of thousands stuck, no food, no water, and you've got these ISIS assholes, Islamic State, excuse me.
Yeah, you 40 lashes. Yeah,
70.
Fucked.
I've said it twice. I'm up to 140 lashes. But the Islamic State just standing at the bottom of the hill with their guns pointed, like, yeah, come on down and just to your execution, just gonna whack them, all of them. And so we start getting that grainy video of our boys up on top and just a little square on a building.
Yeah.
And then, boom! What have we said all along? All you do is just boom, gone. No more ISIS.
Those are fun videos.
I love those. I don't know why, but I just get like amped up when I see it. And your boys are sitting there, they're like, oh, I think that's one of ours right there. And 3, 2, boom! Gone.
Amazing.
No more building.
Yeah.
It's just wicked, because that those guys want nothing more than to run out of that house and just go, oh, Akbar, oh, Akbar, and just start aiming guns at us, and it'd be adorable as they try to hit our boys up, way up, and it's like, oh, really? Boom! Bye-bye.
Death from above.
Yeah, it's nasty. But to see all those people that I don't give a shit about either, but to see all those people up on top of the mountain, bloodied, exhausted, and see our guys going halfway around the world and parachuting in food and water and seeing them come down the mountain to safety is just it really is quite a sight to see. But yeah, it was getting to the point where it almost was a humanitarian thing. Like you couldn't just let them do what they were doing. They say now ISIS or Islamic State owns 40% of that territory now. Think about how big the Middle East is.
Right. It's not just Iraq. They're Syria mainly as well, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And they've killed at least 500 members now of this Iraq's Yazidi ethnic minority during the offensive in the north. The Sunni militants had also buried alive some of their victims, as you mentioned, including women and children. Some 300 women were victims, including some 300 women were kidnapped as slaves, which is always good. We have striking evidence obtained from Yazidis fleeing Sinjar and some who escaped death. Also crime scene images that show indisputably that the gangs of the Islamic States have executed at least 500 Yazidis after seizing Sinjar. This is said from the Minister of Human Rights Minister. Iraq's Human Rights Minister was saying this. His comments could pile pressure on the U.S., which has carried out airstrikes on ISIS targets in response to their latest push through the north. They really have to keep them out of Baghdad. That's the big threat, is they're getting so close to Baghdad, and that they're just not going to stop. They're just going to keep going. So something had to be done. But what I don't get is, didn't it seem like for a while the Islamic State was just taking city after city? Like in 3 days, they now own all this stuff. So why can't we in 3 days take it all back? Seriously, boom!
No, especially when you hear that they are a more traditional force.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get why airstrikes can't just decimate these assholes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But Lindsey Graham, the Republican senator who's always chirping about being tough militarily and shit like that, he was on yesterday saying that it's just a matter of time before they're in the U.S. trying to do harm to us. So make no mistake, this is not an issue that we just kind of turn our back to. It'll go away. They'll settle down in the middle. No, it'll be on our doorstep before we.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah,
I do too. Yeah. There's no doubt. I mean, their whole world is built around hating the West. That's what they do. Is they despise everything we stand for. So it just seems natural that at some point it's not going to be good enough to just be dicks in their own backyard. They're going to want to bring it here in some fashion.
Yeah, a group that is that barbaric to quote unquote their own people, so to speak.
Think about that: burying alive women, children, and not even having discussions with people. A mountain of people just like, come on down to your execution. They're just blindly mowing people down. Absolutely zero regard for life. None. As barbaric as you can get. And yeah, I mean, that was the whole reason 9/11 happened, because bin Laden was declaring death to Western civilization and Christians, everything, for years, and everyone just went, oh, how adorable, he's over there. Let him be a dick over there. It wasn't getting enough respect. It wasn't making noise. So he had to do something big enough to get the attention of the world, hence 9/11. And so, yeah, these pricks will do the same thing. Yep. They won't stop. So, yeah, it's going to get ugly. Hopefully, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do it right. Yeah. Don't waste the military's time. Don't go in half-assed. Either go in and really fuck shit up, boom, or don't.
Well, if really fucking shit up includes putting people on the ground, that's not going to happen under Obama. But could we fuck things up from there? I know.
Though, that's true.
We sure could.
But when you hear like 5 bombs are dropped, ooh.
Oh, I know.
Drop 100,000 bombs. Boom! Be done with all of it. I mean, put an end to it all. You don't have to bomb everything, but anywhere you think they are, just assume they are, and take it off the map. Just send a message, a clear, very crystal clear message to the world that, no, you're not going to just be a prick forever. At some point, you've rattled the hornet's nest enough that we're going to put an end to it. And I think Obama can't be afraid to go, hey, the deal changed. I said we were taking everybody out of there. We're not going back in and this and that. So we're not under any circumstance. You can't be afraid of that. Just go for it. Bring them to their knees. That stupid black flag.
It's not going to happen under Obama.
I know it's not. We only got 2 more
you know
years
what?
left on
I
him.
give him credit for doing this. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought he'd go this far.
Yeah, it's so
Honest
hard
to
to
God.
give him credit for
I know,
anything.
but dude, did you expect that?
No.
When I saw the headline, holy shit, man.
Yeah. He must be really pissed if he's willing to send those guys back over.
Must be feeling some real political pressure.
Yeah. Or there must be a real serious fear of a threat of it coming over here, and if you let it get out of control anymore, there's only so many billions of dollars they can steal before they can really buy their way into some serious trouble for us.
Yeah.
Because the fear, the safety net was always that they couldn't really get here to do anything, but a lot of money will enable you to do anything. Cash is king, Jay, as you know.
I've heard that.
Anyway, why don't we move on to happier things? Well, kind of happier things.
No, it's not. It's not happier.
Well, the Tigers had a hell of a game. I know.
It was an awful weekend.
Did you?
They had the one game, that Friday night, where they came back in the ninth. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Castellanos back. That was
awesome.
great. Yeah.
Yep.
But then Nathan goes up next half inning and loads the bases, right?
What has he blown now? 7 out of 30 games?
I
Something
think
like
it's
that?
6 or 7, yeah. 6 or 7, yeah.
And
it's not good. He's blown as many as he did the prior 2 years total.
Really?
Yeah. So in half a season,
wow,
he's done the same damage he did 2 years.
And really proving that we have not shored up at all the glaring problem with this team, which was the back end of that bullpen.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, man. And you think about guys that have been let go, Rodney, and even the guy, not Papa Grande, but
God.
Yeah, but the other one, and there was some talk about him coming
Benoit.
back. Benoit, yeah. I feel like even Benoit would have not blown 6, 7 saves at this point. I have no faith in Nathan to come into and close a game out if it's close right now. Even if it's not close, he's going to give up a run.
It's
or
tough.
2 runs.
And then Soria goes on the 15-day DL.
Is that what he's?
Yeah. What's his name? Anibal Sanchez and him.
Yeah.
Out with some strains or something. So.
Yeah, pectoral muscle for Sanchez, which is a big one. Thank God we got
David Price.
David Price, thank you. Yeah, that was a weird play. You'd think, okay, he's throwing it 99 miles an hour to home plate. No, and he's throwing it 30 miles an hour over to first base, and then
bizarre.
You get the stretch. Just gotta stretch that out. Oh no, pectoral muscle. But then on top of it, they've got this 5-5 game. The Tigers went 15 innings without scoring a run yesterday.
Yeah.
From the 4th inning
Beautiful.
to the 19th inning, they didn't score a run.
God.
Miggy tried. Miggy went to the track in the 18th. Guy jumped up and banged into the wall, but made the catch for the second out. Got him out of that inning. And then there was we had a runner on first. Looked like a routine, what would be a line shot into kind of a gappy between right and center, and nice diving play to end that threat. And then it's always weird when you get to the 19th inning.
Yeah, one of your starters is coming in.
Porcello.
Tell you who's going to be in the bullpen over the playoffs.
Totally.
Yeah. Because he's got the experience doing it. It's all a mindset, Mike. You know that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of blowing through the game as we're getting set to do this show, and I see he's in the and as I'm fast forwarding, it's like first, second, third. All of a sudden, the bases are loaded. Nobody's out. I'm like, Porcello, what did you do? And well, he gave up a single, and then there was a bunt dragged out, beautiful bunt dragged down the first baseline. Nobody covers first. And I'm assuming, and I don't know who was yanked here, but in a 19-inning game, who knows? You could have starting pitchers
lineup?
playing third. Who knows? Yeah, exactly. But drag bunt down first. Porcello grabs it to throw to first, and I think it was Kinsler is hustling to try to cover. Of course, he doesn't get there in time, and it goes into right, and the guy takes third. Now you got first and third, so then they intentionally walk the guy trying to get play at any base, double play type thing, and a simple line shot to right.
Damn it.
Yeah. So
what'd you do?
Yeah, they ended up blowing that one. And but I'm interested. 19-inning game, that has to be closing in on the longest game the Tigers have ever played, right? Eric, do you know?
It's the second longest time-wise because it reached 6-hour plus mark.
Wow, boy, that must have been boring as hell.
Yeah, so it's second since they've been keeping track in 1914. Their
Wow.
longest one was what was it? Their longest one was. So that was, and that was the longest.
In the majors?
Toronto.
Ever?
Yeah, for their franchises, their
Wow.
longest game.
Okay.
Yep.
Was it the longest game of the season?
I swear to God, I don't think so because I thought
You said something about the Cubs the other day going
The
long.
Cubs
Yeah,
had a long
somebody
one the
had-
other day,
I
but I
think
thought it
somebody
was
had
16
I
innings or 18 innings.
Let me go to the MLB, but I thought somebody had a 19-inning game. Just
Like
the other-
yesterday or something?
Yeah,
I
because
thought?
when I was
2 days
listening
ago?
to the game, they were talking about how on the heels of someone else having it. I swear I thought they said on the radio.
That just so fucks you for your next series, you know?
Oh,
Everything's
yeah.
just discombobulated now,
Well,
you know?
how many pitches have you gone through when you're into Porcello,
Yeah.
your starter,
Yeah.
in the 19th? Nathan was in the 18th or something. I thought,
Right.
or 15th.
Yeah, because he pitched the last probably 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So they're
yeah.
probably like, don't want to use him.
That's crazy.
Well, what the Tigers? I was wondering when the Tigers' next game was, but it looks like it's 8. Oh, next game at Comerica Park. I don't know what their next game. I gotta see what their next game is. But you know,
They
probably
go home against the Pirates, I think.
Are they? But I'm assuming
Oh,
that it
the
won't be a
interleague play.
Monday. You know, it's not going to be usually a
Yeah,
day
usually
off.
Monday.
At least. So if you're going to have a long run, you usually want it at the end of a series. When you
Yeah.
have a day off.
Yeah.
As
Well,
opposed
if
to the
they're off
beginning.
tomorrow, is that the end of the series for
No, they play Monday or
Blue
today.
Jays?
They play today at 7:05.
another Blue Jay game?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh coming
Yeah,
to town.
Pittsburgh
Okay.
for 4.
Wow.
Wow.
Interleague play.
They don't have a day off until next Monday.
You know what?
Baseball
I
is-
knew that. I should have said that.
It's
Yeah.
so grueling. I know, like, it's not the most physical sport, but just 162 games.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
So it makes it fun, though. You know, it's almost every day of the summer
I
you
love
tune
it.
in and watch the soap opera.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice, like, when they have a day game? I said this to my dad last week, like, when they have those Thursday day games. It's kind of cool because when we're here, we're usually able to watch it. But then, like, I'll get home that night, and not that I watch a whole game, but I'm kind of like, I miss it. Like, there's not
Yeah.
a Tiger game on.
Yeah, you'll flip it on. It's the replay. You're like, shit, that's
Right.
right. They played already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like you just expect it. Like I said, I don't watch a whole game, but you kind of flip through.
It becomes your nightly deal in the summer. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
fun.
for
And
me.
that's what's so awesome about the last few years. They're relevant. They're great team.
Yep.
You know, you look back at that prior generation, really, and it's like,
Yeah.
just a lost couple,
It's
15
awful.
years or
when,
whatever.
when a team goes on a run that's awful like that, the Lions are kind of been going through that last 20, 30, 50 years, some people would say.
Could argue that.
Yeah, you could. But the Tigers, yeah, they had that stretch in the 90s and early 2000s where they were as bad a baseball team as you could get. It really
Dean
has
Palmer,
been fun.
Bobby Higginson.
Yeah, yeah. Ever since the Sweet Lou and Tram days, that team sucked. They
Yeah.
sucked, and to have this team that's absolutely competitive every night of the week, expected to win every night of the week, expected to be in the postseason, but this is getting scary. They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. Their lead was down to a game and a half, and after this loss, I don't know if
Half a game
lead
game.
now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they're built to win in the playoffs, but they got to make the playoffs. They got to get into the playoffs, and
You know what? It was Boston. Boston dropped a 19-inning game to Anaheim just
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Or so. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew I heard. I'm just glad because I swear I heard someone had 6 hours and 31 minutes.
And how long was this one?
This one was, I think, just over the 6-hour mark.
Okay.
But at that time, that was the longest game in the majors this year, and it still will be because it was a little longer than the Tigers.
Wow.
In minutes, innings the same, but in minutes it was longer.
Yeah. Huh. Did you see, by the way, the Lions got underway this weekend? I don't know if you caught any of that. It's such a bullshit
Yeah.
thing, preseason. Who cares? But I don't know if you caught any of it. It still feels kind of cool to have football going.
Yeah, I think I watched like 2 plays. I saw when Kellen Moore was
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
and then just kind of watched a couple throws and then turned it off. Saw him
Yeah.
to complete one to Peacock.
Peacock,
I
yeah.
was like, okay, what am I doing
all right.
watching this?
Well, it's so weird, these first couple preseason games. And Calvin didn't play, and Stafford was in for a couple throws.
Mhm.
That's all they do. It was telling you how Kaepernick for the Niners was 1 for 1 for
God.
3 yards or 7 yards or something. They're just not going to risk those guys.
Yeah.
There's no There's no reason to have 4 preseason games.
Seen it
Period.
too many times. James Stewart going down with that
Yeah.
season-ending surgery. You know,
Jeff Garcia.
Adrian Peterson. It's happened to. It's just.
Yep. Remember
stupid.
Garcia? That whole season was put on Garcia's back, and he broke his leg in that game against Buffalo.
Yep.
Preseason game. Season was done, over before it starts. Football is one of those weird games where if you get an injury, one key injury, the season's only 16 games. That's it.
In trouble.
You're in real trouble. Yeah. And,
like if Scott Mitchell gained.
What are you talking
Did you
about?
see my man?
I did. 40 pounds or 140
no
pounds?
shit, man. What is he, like 360 or something?
366.
366. Yeah, I saw him. He's going to be on the Biggest Loser on NBC.
What do you think what do you think his playing weight was?
250, 240.
Okay, yeah, he was a big guy.
240.
240.
You're right.
Yeah. He was what, 6'5"?
Probably.
Went to Lions camp year of Scott Mitchell, and the two of us that we'll share on our site. You can see he's a good foot taller than me, and he's a couple inches taller than you.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
Oh, no, dude, I got that. It was 388. I said 360. It's 380.
He's 388. So he's
wow, dude.
44 pounds more.
I don't get that because in
148
his Biggest Loser picture, he's wearing a jersey and it says 366. So why would it not be your weight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I looked down, I was like 388. So.
Wow. Yeah. How does a guy like that, who spends his whole life 48 pounds out of the blue?
If you look at him, though, I mean, he's sort of a fat guy waiting to happen. You know?
But see, I disagree. Guys that are 6'6" should never be fat guys.
Shouldn't be.
If you're a 6'6" guy, you're just
always
built with a thin frame.
He's always a little doughy, don't you think?
Yeah.
A little bit.
No doubt.
God, was he a frustrating player.
Dude, you're a big dude, Jay. You're a big guy. You look like a little guy compared to him.
I wasn't very big back then, but
I mean,
whatever.
You've always been in shape, though. And
thanks, Mike. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, you work hard at it, Chase. But I always look like a slob. He's got a good about 4 inches on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy. His helmet there. He's got his notes. He's taking it seriously.
Yeah. Those shorts look familiar too, don't they? Remember we had those shorts?
Oh yeah, I got those from Russell.
Yeah.
Russell gave us those shorts. I love those shorts. I lost my pair.
I wore them forever, and they just got Eric nasty, so I got rid of them. As I glance over, he's got his Pistons pull-away pants on.
Always.
And it's a little warm in here. You know, all day I've been kind of thinking, God, you know, there's this.
Yeah,
this pleather chair is kind of like just getting to me, right?
If Dick sweat, mine would be soaked right now.
Did sweat, right? But they don't. Yeah. So my man over here has these long pull-away pants on with fleece pajama pants underneath. You know, it's like, God, you must be just.
Dude, I just
and a long sleeve shirt.
I made him take that off. I was just like, you look way too warm. Take it off.
It's 85 out.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the middle of August.
I know. I keep trying to explain to him. I just like being comfortable.
How is it comfortable?
Well, here, this is how I can explain it to you. I would be fine with just wearing pajama pants when I come over here because I know I'm not going to do anything. But in case I have to. Pants. No. Understand that I can't. I don't want to be that guy.
It's off when you get up. So get out of bed, take your pajama pants off, then present drawers underneath, right?
I know.
You got some drawers on. Throw your pull-away pants.
The reason in my mind is because these ones are the Michigan ones I wear. Are at least. The alternative, I'm saying, better than me wearing Michigan pajama pants into the.
I don't know.
How about we don't wear either of them, and you get a nice pair of shorts?
You're in a circus, dude.
I have shorts. I wear them all the time when I go home.
Not over here.
You know what he looks like? One of those guys with the long legs on the stilts. They walk around. His legs look way too long.
So frustrated
because the pants are like a foot too long. They drag on the floor. You look too warm for me, man.
Well,
it's just,
I'm not. So.
Jay and I were in a nice discussion this afternoon about something before Eric got. As soon as Eric walked in, Jay just literally stopped in mid-conversation, went, You look really warm. I gotta be honest. You look too warm, Eric.
When I sleep, I always sleep in pajama pants, my long sleeve shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Always.
Doesn't help the stink.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Whatever.
not saying you got to be nude guy, but I can't. I can't do anything more than like boxer briefs. Nice pair of polo boxer
why
briefs.
would you?
Calvin
Why
Klein
would
boxer
you?
briefs.
You know, it's
I
just,
don't like sleeping like that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like being comfortable, and to me,
all
this
right.
is
whatever works for you. It's been working for you well.
exactly.
So just keep it up.
It got me where I am today. So.
You know what else got him here? Thank God he took diligent notes
Ooh.
with his diary.
He brought it. He
It's a
brought it.
Monday, and we
Never
made
have
him.
mentioned this.
No, you shouldn't have, but you did.
I know.
Thank God, folks. You'll be glad to know that Eric, and he was quite the little. He
So
took some
embarrassing.
long.
No,
Do you think his spelling was better then?
I haven't looked at it, so I'm gonna guess no.
Atrocious. It is utterly atrocious. I'm inclined to give it to your 10-year-old son and go, tell me what you think of this, and see how hard he laughs at the.
Dude, I said it on Friday when I was embarrassed about it, and now I read a little bit coming in, not on the way in before I got here, not in the
while you were
car,
driving.
not
Okay,
while I
good.
was driving.
Should I give you one story for now? Should I just give you one paragraph for now, just as a
I can't wait.
teaser?
I'm so
Can't wait.
scared. I'm
As a
so
teaser.
scared of what you're gonna say.
November 21st, 2001.
Oh no.
I know I haven't wrote in a couple of days, CUPPEL, couple, but it is the day before Thanksgiving. I had school off today. I spent it at my friend's house watching TV. A lot has happened, HAPPEND,
Oh, no.
since last night, SCIENE. My family had a huge fight, and in school I got mad at my history teacher for screwing me on a test. Well, I'll write tomorrow, TOMMROO.
Oh no.
Tomorrow.
Jeez.
Should never. Oh, whatever.
You know how proud he is of his. Oh,
Yes.
no wonder he got in a fight with his history teacher.
History.
Ben Franklin was to a president.
I knew he wasn't. I always
Uh-huh.
know that's a trick question. A lot of people get that wrong because everyone assumes that he was, but he was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Eric.
Oh.
Again, the gift that keeps on giving. You are a Christmas present every day of the year. I love it. So we'll get back to that post haste, folks. Post haste. And why don't we start though before we get to your little diary?
The journal.
Yeah, whatever. Diary, journal, same thing. Why don't we talk about your favorite sport, NASCAR? And we got your drivers out murdering people apparently.
Damn.
I don't know what's
Name of my
going on
cat.
there?
I named my cat after Tony Stewart.
Did you? Murder lover?
Yeah.
Tony
I know.
Stewart struck and killed sprint car driver Kevin Ward Jr., who had climbed from his car and was on the track trying to confront Stewart. Do you see them do that every once in a while? Get all pissed off because someone spun them out and they jump out of their car and are running on the track?
Yeah, I was going to ask you how much culpability is on him. You know
All
what
of
I mean?
it.
You,
All of
you don't
it.
think any on Tony who gunned the engine as he's going by him and fishtailed?
I haven't even seen the video,
All right.
to be honest with you. But I hear that, yeah, when he's going by him, he kicks sideways, he fishtails a bit, meaning he probably punched it.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart is known as a hothead. I don't watch NASCAR, and I know that.
Now,
right?
he's
Eric?
the Home Depot
Oh,
car,
yeah.
right?
No, not anymore. That was a while ago.
Okay.
He's actually changed. But no, yeah, he's been a little better actually in the last few years. But he had a major issues like back about 10 years ago in an incident, like one time punching a reporter. I mean, absolutely has had problems.
What car is he in now?
He drives. He's actually the owner of his own team now. So he drives for himself
Okay.
technically. So he's I forget what his sponsor is this year because I haven't followed as much this year.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yesterday in the event that was, they say, critical to his championship chances.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, this Ward guy had climbed from his car on a darkened dirt track and was trying to confront Stewart when he was struck Saturday night. Ontario County Sheriff Phil Pavero said his department's investigation is not criminal and that Stewart was fully cooperative in They were actually interviewing him, though, the police, about this. You know it's serious when you take a
Take a
sporting
look,
event.
man.
Well, I hear he gets hit and thrown like 50 feet.
He's more dragged. Yeah,
Really?
he's dragged
Is
and
it
then sort of
gruesome?
left behind. It's not as like it's not like boom, off the windshield and stuff. what I think you see is Stewart gun it, and he sort of fishtails a little bit and picks him up as he fishtails and drags him. Probably strikes him pretty good, but drags him and then kind of leaves him behind. But you totally see the body, just kind of like, holy shit, and he's laying in an awkward position. He ends just in like a, wow, that's a dead body sort of position. Yeah.
Was he dead on the spot?
I'm guessing.
Probably. Let me see it. Yeah.
Oh, he hit him!
Wow.
So you hear him gun
Tony
it.
Stewart just hit that guy, Alan! Tony Stewart just hit that guy!
Tony Stewart just hit that guy.
Holy shit!
Nice video work.
Now, Eric, tell us, is this? I mean, this is a dirt track, sprint race.
Yeah.
So is he like the biggest star in this race?
Oh, in this one, obviously I don't know. I didn't watch this, but I would have guessed that he would be.
So most people are watching him.
Oh yeah, when he does something like this, this will draw a huge crowd on a on a Saturday night for Tony to come out. And I was actually telling Jay about this, and this is where he needs to really. I would be shocked if he never does one of these other than Sprint Cup again, because he has hurt his career twice now. Last year he did one of these and broke his leg.
Yeah,
he's out the last
compound fracture.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, and that's huge because in this sport, well, it's not sport, but whatever. In NASCAR, it's not like a team sport where maybe even though Tom Brady's huge, you could win without him. If Tony Stewart gets injured or if Tony Stewart misses a race today, they don't get points for the season. So, like, this is the second time he has to start the race.
He's a NASCAR racer,
right?
Though, right?
Right.
Why? This seems
he loves
to me.
Racing.
Seems to me like Tom Brady going and playing for the Ontario team.
Exactly.
Like the Argonauts or something. Like,
yeah,
seriously.
and so everybody watching the Argos game would go, holy shit, Tom Brady's in this one. Let's watch him.
And he just pulled a gun and shot this receiver.
Right.
Dude, that is
holy shit.
That's an exact analogy. That analogy is absolutely right.
It seems very weird. Like Cabrera is just playing for the single A team for some reason on a Thursday night.
He loves to swing the bat.
Yeah, NASCAR is a weird. Auto racing is a weird thing in the sense that there are a lot of these guys that race that really just love racing, and
he must hate going home to his wife.
Well, he does. He's not. He's unmarried. He had well, that's another story. He's quite the womanizer, actually. But
I could see why he'd want to do it. It's such a different race, such a different car.
He just loves racing. He just doesn't care
what
car it is.
The dirt track makes it way different, but man,
at night, what is that guy thinking?
Well, you've seen guys do this, though. That's the new thing, right? Kind of drivers get out and confront,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've seen them throw helmets at cars, but usually these cars are going a minimum of 80 miles an hour. It's not, even when there's a caution flag, these guys are hauling balls. Like, what? They point out here, Stewart was unhurt. Really? You mean Stewart in his car going 80 clipped a guy who's walking on the track and he was unhurt? Well, thank God. Well, of course he was unhurt. Why wouldn't he be unhurt?
I think he's laying on his chest when he ends up, and look at how his arm is. He just looks. Watch how the body ends up.
Yeah, his last seconds on Earth,
grim, man.
He's just livid with Stewart.
Look at how his arms like tucked under, and
ugh. So what killed him? I wonder.
Probably head impact.
Nice helmet.
Yeah.
You think? Because it didn't. It looked like he got dragged, like you said, but you would.
Yeah, but what would? Yeah. Break your neck or hit your head bad enough,
Yeah.
I know NASCAR obviously very well, but what I don't know is like this almost reminds me of the Port shooting in the sense that can he get charged for this?
No.
No?
No. Nope.
No?
I couldn't imagine that.
If he gunned it?
Yeah, he could arguably say he didn't even see him. The guy's wearing all black with a black helmet on a dark dirt track at night. And you're chasing a car going 80. Like, what are you thinking, dude?
When I heard this...
Seriously, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
When I heard this story, and it's not... Obviously, it's horrible because the guy died here. But when I heard it, my buddy was...
Eric cares about life now.
I was drunk and coming back from the bar.
We'll get to your journal in a minute. Don't worry.
And my buddy just kind of goes, dude, Tony Stewart killed somebody. And it's like 3:30 in the morning.
As if he OJ'd him.
And I was just like, are you fucking serious?
What did you picture? Like gun or what?
I don't know. I just
automatically think OJ. They killed his waiter too.
I didn't think it was a car. I really swear to God, I was like, oh my God, he killed somebody. To be fair, I was pretty drunk. Like I said, it was 3:30 in the morning, but I still was like, whoa. And it was all the rage at the Waffle House the next morning too.
I bet it was.
We were at the Waffle House and my buddy wore his Tony Stewart shirt yesterday too. Like we were literally.
What does that even mean? What is a Tony Stewart shirt?
Because it's a shirt.
It's like a Randy Travis shirt. Kind of similar, but it says Tony Stewart.
I know it's not a sport or whatever, but it's like wearing a Red Wings jersey.
No, it's not at all.
Yes, it is a NASCAR.
I would recognize a Red Wings jersey, a Tony Stewart jersey.
Well, no, but if you're a NASCAR fan, you would, and the lady on our server at the Waffle House did.
I can see Randy Travis being Eric's hero. Isn't he like drunk and nude?
Yeah,
a number of times.
yeah,
He's
a mess.
hero.
His hero is Pat
fucking Green.
Pat Green, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've all heard of Pat Green. He's a legend.
He is in Texas.
He thought I was Pat Green once, and I autographed him.
I was hypnotized, okay?
You were hypnotized? Okay.
He was taking pictures with me as I was Pat Green, and I was autographing his body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
I think
the only reason I remember it is because I
hilarious.
have a picture on Facebook. I don't remember it.
Yeah,
so.
That's hilarious that you have no memory of that.
We got to get into hypnotism sometime. I want to hear about that.
Dude, we had this guy hypnotized, and the guy who hypnotized him was great, and he had Eric. And
you did this on air, obviously?
Yeah, we did this on air, and you could tell, like, and he gave us a code word at the end of the day when he left, the hypnotist. He was like, yeah, if you just say Afghanistan, Bananistan, and Eric will immediately go out again. And, dude, we so abused that. Like, I swear to God, the Monday morning he comes in like nothing. It was just like Afghanistan, Bananistan, and the look on his face. I always thought you could fake this.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, he's just fucking around. He's faking. Eric's face did something totally different. It would just like he'd go from his normal, and it was like Afghanistan, Bananistan. He'd go, and he would just drop down into this mode, and he was gone. He was gone, and he was absolutely in your control. You could be. We had
really,
him,
Eric?
I swear, I know.
He has no memory of any of this.
Of all the times I've been on the air for when I was an intern, there's like maybe 3 things that are the biggest, and that was one of them. People, if they would run into me, they'd say, "Come on, was that real?" And all I could say is, I don't know how to tell you it was, but it was, and it was real enough that he did it. He came in twice because he did it to me 2 different times, and the one time he did it in the day, and then I went to his show later that night, and he did it. He was hypnotizing someone on stage, and I actually even started to get a little under that night because he said, if it's done to you,
if you're a really
recently,
weak-minded
you'll
person, you go out like that. Yeah,
Word
feeble
yeah.
comes to mind. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
No, he just said if you've had it done to you recently, like it's one of those things where it can start. It's a little more in you. It kind of wears on you a little bit. So even that night, I was starting to kind of.
I would swear, dude, that I thought like if we wanted to, we could have had him kill someone, rape someone. Now he was the guy that did put him under was like, listen, you won't do anything that you wouldn't like you couldn't tell him to go kill someone and he would go murder someone. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do something he wouldn't normally do. So I stand by that. We could have had him go like boo-foo a guy, and he probably would have done that because we had him go in and Drew hates. He'd be editing with headphones on, and we're like, Afghanistan, Bananistan. Eric, go in. I mean, you got to go tell Drew like how much you love him and appreciate the opportunity to be here. And this dude just boom, blast open the door. Drew. And Drew's like, Eric, what? Yeah, I just want to say, man, I'm just so thankful and grateful for the opportunity. Let's bro hug, man. Let's hug it out. And Drew's like, Eric, it's okay. Thank you. I'm really busy. Yeah, no, I know. And I just want to say, I can't believe it. I'm so thankful for the opportunity.
God.
Dude, for 3 days over the weekend. Afghanistan, Bananistan.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then it was like.
I've never met anybody who'd been under that, so I wondered about that.
Oh, man.
I'm a skeptic.
I was too.
I was the biggest skeptic in the world. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. And if I didn't see his facial reaction, like the muscles in his face, like. And it was something where there's no way you'd be able to keep a straight face when you're telling someone to do these absurdly ridiculous things. There's no way you could keep a straight face without breaking character. And Eric's not a talented enough actor to be able to stay in character like that. but he absolutely, his facial muscles would like relax just a hair, and he never broke character, never giggled, never laughed, nothing. And he would do the most amazing shit. It was hilarious. You don't remember any of it, do you?
I swear, like, I did say this. What I would say is, I don't remember it, but I remember, like, when you guys started telling me, it was almost as if I'd had a dream. Like, I didn't remember it, but there was something there that it was kind of like I had, like I said, just a hazy dream. Like, I didn't remember doing it.
So weird.
But I definitely remember, like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to even explain, to be honest with you. Well, but I don't remember it. I have to look at, like, when I look at the pictures, I kind of go, like, okay, what the hell? But
yeah, well, we'll bring him in here. I know the guy that did that did the hypnosis for him. We'll definitely bring him in here at some point. We'll do it again. It was a ball. And Eric's a gamer, you know that. Anyway, back to Tony Stewart. The cop that talked to him says he was visibly shaken by this accident. This is right now being investigated as an on-track crash. I don't want to infer that there are criminal charges pending. When the investigation is completed, we will sit down with the district attorney and review it, but I want to make it very clear there are no criminal charges pending at this time. Yeah, the 25-lap race was under caution when he was struck, which is weird too because
no, he ran the guy into the road or into the wall, and that's why he was pissed. Yeah, what you didn't see in the video, Tony cut him off. Guy goes flying and whipping into the wall, kind of does a turn and bang, you know, and then he gets out and he waits for Tony to come around on the caution.
Yeah, it's just
because he's gonna give him a piece of his mind.
Do you think it's possible that he didn't see him? Because they said they point out that there was a car in front that swerved to avoid him, and then Stewart came right behind it, and he almost alluding like maybe he didn't see him.
No, I'll bet he's doing what people suspect he did. Give it a little gun, like, fuck you, 20-year-old, I'm Tony Stewart. You know?
Yeah, and got way out of control.
Yeah.
Never thinking in a million years that he would kill him.
Right. Oh, no. Yeah, of course not.
Stewart released a statement yesterday saying a tragic accident took place last night during a sprint car race in which Tony Stewart was participating. Tony was unhurt. Oh, thank God. But a fellow competitor lost his life. Our thoughts and prayers, they always popular, thoughts and prayers, go out to his family and friends. We're still attempting to sort through all the details. Not much to sort through. It's pretty clear. We appreciate your understanding during this difficult time. He was questioned and released. The sheriff is asking for people who have video of the crash to contact the office so copies can be obtained for review. People that witnessed it were horrified. They were extremely shocked. Seen leaving. They ended up canceling the rest of the race, I believe, right? Yeah. And he dropped out of it.
I'll bet other drivers absolutely know what went on there. You know, just kind of a protocol, just an experience on the track, just an experience with each other. I'll bet they absolutely could tell you with 100% certainty, yeah, this is what Tony was thinking, this is what that guy was thinking, this is what happened. He just got a little out of control. Yeah.
You're probably right about that.
You know, because they've all been in that situation. They've all been pissed off. They've seen guys get out of their cars. They know Tony.
Yeah. Do you think that would come into play if it was deemed that he punched it hoping to kick a little dirt in his face or brush by him, like you say, not expecting he was going to murder a guy or run him over, but that he was pissed off too and was like, hey, fuck you, man, and throw a little hip at him, and it turned out the way it did? Do you think charges would come from that?
It's not beyond the realm.
Yeah.
I mean, it really isn't.
I'm trying to think if we've ever seen that in a pro sport. I
think like a hockey,
have.
Wasn't Bertuzzi possibly going to be? I mean, they talked about that for a while. And
the guy that was face planted into the snow was out cold and face
just
down.
came up from behind and whacked him. And I don't even know if that lawsuit's done yet, but it went on for a long time. And that's what Tony's got to be worried about, is a civil lawsuit. Now, granted, this dude's going to have, a percentage of negligence himself.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'd be worried about that because he's got a whole lot to be taken.
Yeah, he sure does.
You know what's interesting? I don't know if you saw in the video here. These guys that come up on the track after that, I do the
EMS.
Grand Prix.
Yep.
And those are called MERV units, down there that respond to crashes. So you see they get there in an instant, but you can see by their response, they almost can tell the guy's gone.
Yeah, they whip off their helmets, right, and start to.
Yeah, they aren't trying to do anything. They're like, no, this guy's gone. You can see as soon as they pull up here.
I noticed that they jumped out while it's still moving, like they're.
Yeah, see, watch. They're just like, oh no, he's gone. Get somebody. I mean, they're not medically. They're not doing anything to save him at this point. They can tell he's gone.
Yeah, they're like, holy shit.
Like you can just tell that he's gone.
Is that one of those where you don't want to move the body? for fear that there's a broken neck or
there's a neck
spine.
injury or something like that. But you can just tell by their body language. They can tell the guy is gone as soon as they arrive there.
It definitely looks like he's contorted in a way that you shouldn't be. You know, they probably walked up and saw his back and torso in a place that.
Yeah. Unless the body was really mangled and you could tell he's broken his back, he's gone. How do you know that he's not unconscious, just been knocked out or something? But clearly you're right, Timko. It looks like they see something that we can't see, and they know. Wow, what a terrible thing. I mean, that's something that for a guy like Tony Stewart, you know, we've talked about stuff like this before. In an instant, your whole life has changed.
Yeah.
Your whole life and existence has changed.
In a race he doesn't need to be in.
And he probably shouldn't be in.
Exactly.
And the thing is, I feel really bad for him if, in fact, if this was totally an accident, never saw the guy, or was trying to avoid him, he can live with that. But if he was trying to kick a little dirt in his face, maybe, and that was the outcome, good luck living with that, carrying that around for the rest of your life. That'll be tough. That'll be really tough. Did you see the O'Bannon, Ed O'Bannon?
Versus the NCAA case.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it seems kind of silly.
It does, man. When you read what the outcome was, and basically this lawsuit is former college players suing the NCAA, saying we ought to be compensated for, at least in part, for all that money you make off, say, video games where our names and likenesses are used.
Right.
Which makes sense. I mean, you pull up some of these games, it's like, oh yeah, there's Max Bulla, you know, and it's the middle linebacker for the Spartans. You know, I mean, it is the player.
Yeah.
And I know you've said to me, like, that struck you years ago as you put these things in, like, how can they do this? They have the actual player.
They're not playing them.
Yeah, you know they're not
them.
paying these players.
Yeah.
So it occurred to Ed O'Bannon one day, hey, you know, we ought to bring a lawsuit. But it was actually really driven by that Sonny Vaccaro, the former Adidas guy, I think, who he's got quite a history. But anyway, he got with that O'Bannon and kind of churned this thing up, got it going.
It's been going for a while.
It has been. It's been going for a long time, and people were really afraid that this could turn the whole college sport upside down if the wrong ruling came down. And the ruling basically is that, oh yeah, they deserve to be paid, but not more than $5,000 a year. That's the crux of the whole story. They're acting, if you're reading the headlines yesterday or today, it's this could fundamentally shift intercollegiate sports. Ooh, they're acting like this is some major thing. And Ed O'Bannon, in any interview I've seen, he's acting like, this is an initial step. This is great, a first step. And maybe it is. Maybe it's a bigger deal. But when I saw that $5,000, they can be paid up to $5,000. Ooh. Gibraltar Trade Center on any day of the year and sign autographs for $5,000 a day. Yeah, that's a great point. Or take their shoes and make $5,000. Especially a guy like Ed O'Bannon, who was one of the best college basketball. He was the national champion on the UCLA team in '95 or whatever it was. Those guys, their name and likeness is worth a lot. Now, the trouble you get into is the fact that people always assume that, oh yeah, these guys are like pros and there's Johnny Manziel's everywhere and Tim Tebow's everywhere. The fact is, 90% of these guys are just, they might as well be a swimmer on a team. Yeah. They're not that big a deal. But when you're talking about the Chris Webbers of their generation, the Ed O'Bannons, the Johnny Manziels, yeah, $5,000 ain't gonna cut it. But for a lot of those kids, $5,000 probably will. But I don't know how do you make that change, because in any day, one guy goes from a second string, third string bench player as a freshman to the story of college football this season. Mm-hmm. So how do you decide? Johnny Manziel's just happened. Yeah. Like, you don't see it coming, and all of a sudden he's Johnny Football. Mm-hmm. And his name and likeness is worth millions. He was a redshirt freshman, right, when he was a Heisman winner? Yeah. So, I think that's what the judge struggled with. I think ultimately, and I didn't read the 99-page opinion, but I think she had to be really concerned that she was going to completely upset the whole collegiate athletic world, you know, and I don't think she was comfortable doing that. Yeah. Good but for her. What it shows, seriously. What it shows, though, is that the NCAA is not bulletproof. You know, they, for a long time, have just been, hey, these are the rules and these are the rules. And as curious as they seem, you know, when you look at it, it's like, God, how can you're making billions off these kids. But I see the other side too. I think it's a tough one, but
it's a really tough one.
But I think it signals that there's more to come, and it's probably going to be a much different landscape in 10 years.
Yeah,
I think we can agree on that.
Totally, I would totally agree with that. The speaker for the NCAA says they are going to appeal this, of course, but I don't know where it goes. So many of these guys are not, like I said, they're not going to make money off sports for very long. And how do you decide? Like, does everybody get up to $5,000 a year? Like, how does that work? You've got thousands and thousands of kids. Now, here's the one thing though, is that the NCAA is coming full circle with, that we all knew. The fact is, you don't let these kids work at all. They're not allowed to work during the season and have jobs like normal college kids, and they basically keep them for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I mean, they're basically full-time athlete students when you're talking about the majors, the football guys, the basketball guys, especially those. So for them to not let them work, give them really shitty lunch money, and so they're not able to make money. They don't get much money. They're not really allowed to, but they're getting this free education. So
yeah, well, it's like Chris Webber's old thing. I can't even afford a pizza, but there's my jersey selling for $100 in the window, along
selling
Main Street.
Out.
Like, oh yeah, you can't afford a pizza. He's a bad example. But no, dude, I
but
totally.
There is that argument though.
Yeah, for sure. And part of me says, dude, you're getting the education, and that's gold. But the reality is, and I think Ed O'Bannon testified to this in this lawsuit in particular, that tons of these guys aren't interested at all in the academics. They are there for one reason only, and the academic part is a nuisance. It's like shit. They're just trying to do the bare minimum.
That's what O'Bannon testified. Yep, I was doing enough to stay eligible. Period. I didn't give a shit. And why would a lot of them? Every one of them thinks they're going to the pros.
No, dude, shame on them, man. I mean, if that's their view, they're fucking idiots. Because like you said, 90% of them are going nowhere.
Yeah.
And then that small percentage that gets to, say, the NFL. I mean, what's the shelf life for an NFL player?
3 years.
Yeah, 3. What are you doing over there?
What?
Stop that.
Sorry.
He's dicking with his dick. I can't stand that. See, I've got the peripheral vision over. You don't see it. He's got the computer and.
Yeah. I realize you can see me.
Yeah, I can't see from Randy Travis down. I can't really see anything. So
Jesus Christ, that sounds bad.
Can't see little Randy over there?
No.
Yeah, he's messing with little Randy.
Sorry.
Fuck.
Sorry.
No,
That's
but
okay.
Bottom
Don't
line about
apologize.
this thing is it's nice that she didn't blow the thing up. Now, granted, they would have appealed it. She could have assigned quite a lot of money to each of these guys. But it was worse if you're a football fan.
It's a weird story because how do you decide who gets what?
Well,
Do you go based on jersey sales? Do you go based on ticket sales? Because every big team, I mean, when you think about the lower teams, when you get out of the top 25, they just don't have that star power to draw that most of those schools.
Well, I think that's what the judge struggled with.
Yeah,
she went, well, how do I assign value? And then if I say 20, then there's Joe Schmo who sits on the bench and never gets in the game. He's going to get the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just, I think that's why ultimately when we look at it, we chuckle at 5,000, but it's probably fair if you or you can argue it's fair if you look from top to bottom on a team.
And does this carry through all of NCAA collegiate sports?
I thought I read that's football and basketball.
Okay, which would make sense, but you could argue if you're a baseball player.
Depending on the school, there's certain sports
player?
that drive it. Lacrosse, whatever it is,
Yeah, go to Duke and lacrosse is big.
Yep.
Especially any of the sports.
Syracuse, yeah.
I was just going to say, especially any of the sports that are obviously have professional, like baseball, hockey. The 4 major ones. Like, even lacrosse. I know there's big lacrosse schools, but I know.
Go to U of M. Go to a U of M hockey game or a Michigan State hockey game and tell me those aren't a draw.
Right. I mean, love them.
Go to Yost Arena and watch some of those games. They're amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I don't know where you draw the line or how you figure it out. All I know is I wouldn't want to be in charge of figuring out who gets what.
Man.
I wouldn't want to do that. Why don't we take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk about this 78-year-old woman who tried to get through customs with a few extra dollars, and then we've got to save some time for Eric's journal. We'll do that next on the Detroit Cast.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, Monday edition of the show. I am Mike, that is Jay. The whole crew is here, and a few things left to do. I did want to mention real quick though. I went to that Motley Crue show the other day.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. Pretty good, man. No Tommy Lee solo though. I was wondering how they were going to do the roller coaster.
Yeah, you can't set it up there, right?
Yeah, you just couldn't do it at a DTE. So gonna have to go back in November to the Joe Louis show so you can see that big roller coaster show. But it was good. It was funny. It was Beth's first Motley Crue show.
And what'd she think?
She thought it was horrible. Yeah, she didn't. She thought it was fun, but she noted it absolutely reeked of piss and puke. Like before we even got into DTE, stinks like piss out here. It's a Motley Crue show. She was just she just bust out laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? Nah, there's enough. I'm gonna pass out in the bush over there. It was really funny.
Man, I swear. Not like that. Swear to God, like I can be still up at 3 a.m. and I'll never just a zombie. I don't think for the most part. I swear. I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying. I'm even at now. Campsite.
Yeah, they were not that. There were tons of returnables in the lot. You know, you could see where guys were tailgating.
Right.
Probably, I've got it down to a science, man. I leave my house at 8 o'clock at night. I get to the venue by 8:45. No lines, no traffic. I walk in, the band goes on in 5 minutes, and during the encore, I bolt, and I'm the first one out of the parking lot. Like it is what it is. But they did this thing where they came out after their set ended. They did their bow, and the lights were still down, and it was like, I see that stage back there towards the lawn. There's like a mini stage set up. And Beth and I are like, how are they going to get there? There's no like underground tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I bet they're just going to walk through the crowd.
No way.
And she's like, no way. And sure enough, they come with spotlights. They've each got like a flashlight spotlight, and they've got bodyguards with them. And they just start walking right through the damn crowd all the way up to this stage over there, and they busted out Home Sweet Home on a piano and drum set.
Wow.
And this stage, like, it's sitting there, and it starts raising up like a gun, like a, what are they, those sights that you sit in? What are they? A cherry picker, like a blind, like a cherry picker. Like this stage was on one of those, and it just starts rising up as they're rocking out Home Sweet Home.
And where is the stage?
Out by the soundboard. Like all the way back of the, like between the lawn and, the end of the pavilion. Stage is just set up there, and it's on this riser that goes up, and they're playing it out, and that's when I split. And I didn't hear them do anything else, so I think they closed with Home Sweet Home out there doing that. It was pretty cool.
That's sweet. I love when bands. I really like when bands do that stuff. I
snuck my GoPro in and took a couple of videos. I think we got Too Fast for Love here, and we'll post it on the site. If anyone wants to check it out and see where we were sitting. They weren't great, but it was packed, man. It was a full-ass house. Yeah, the video kind of sucks, but I don't know. Whatever. It's better than nothing, I suppose. And so one more time to go for Motley Crue, and they're done. The final tour.
That's in November, right?
Yeah, I think. Yep. Definitely in November at Joe Louis, which should be fun. Tommy will be able to do his full set because Mick Mars did a solo last night, and I wish Mick Mars didn't do a solo last night. It was really obnoxiously loud and didn't feel very in tune. The tone seemed off, and it was just kind of all over the place and really loud.
It's a little pitchy, dog.
Yeah, a little pitchy, dog, for sure. But anyways, I love Mick, but better look next time on that solo. Couple stories to get to, and then we'll definitely spend a couple minutes on Eric's diary. Thank you for bringing that in. I'm proud of you, buddy. Journal, whatever, diary. Tomato. This couple, and I won't pretend even to know much about how the surrogate thing works, But this Australian couple, they're denying that they abandoned their son with this Thai surrogate after learning he had Down syndrome. Yeah.
So it didn't come out the way they wanted it. So they're like, oh no.
Yeah. We're out. Never mind. So yeah, the woman. They're saying that the woman demanded that she be allowed to keep this baby. They're calling the kid Gammy, baby Gammy. And their surrogate mother, her name is Pataraman. She's 21 years old. Has 2 kids of her own already. She had accused the biological parents, this Wendy and David Farnell, of leaving her with the infant while taking his healthy twin sister Pippa with them to Australia.
Oh,
so basically, she's going to have twins for this couple, and they go, "Yeah, one of them's fucked up. You keep that one. We'll take the good one and leave." Yeah. And the dad is very emotional. "We did not abandon our son," he said in an interview with the Australia version of 60 Minutes. They're saying this Pataraman said that if we tried to take our little boy, she's going to get the police, and she's going to try and take our little girl, and she's going to keep both of the babies. She denies this. It says she denied that she'd ever threatened to keep both children, but agreed that she had wanted the Farnells to take. She didn't want them to take this Gammy home. "I did not allow Gammy to go back with them. That's the truth," she told the AP. Apparently backtracking from her earlier accusation that the couple had abandoned the baby boy. It's because they would have taken Gammy back and put him in an institute. So I don't know who to believe here, but
they gave her an extra $10,000 to change the story.
You think
Just
so?
to go, yeah, I wanted him. I wanted to keep him.
Well, the story gets really even weirder. The case became murkier when it was emerged that David Farnell had been convicted in the 90s of multiple sex offenses against young girls.
What?
So then he takes the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, not
That
at
one's
all.
got a penis. I have no use for him.
Rid of him, he's gross, penis and all. The Farnells had been trying for 8 years to conceive when they approached the Thai surrogacy agency for help. The problems began when they found out before the twins' birth in December that the boy would have Down syndrome. The couple was angry that the surrogacy agency had not conducted tests earlier that it was too late to abort the fetus. So they're livid. They're like, "You should have known earlier that this tard was going to come, and we could have killed it way back then when.
God.
Now we're stuck with this retard kid. Fuck you. We want our money back." They wanted a refund. It's a human life. Not half one anyway, or something. Whatever. I mean, it's still a human life, right?
That's not a...
Christ. They probably would have terminated the pregnancy, they said. Had they known.
Man.
Yeah, so they're blaming the surrogacy agency. I don't think any parents want a son with a disability. Parents want their children to be healthy and happy. They expected the agency to give them a full refund and find a solution. That's when the still pregnant Pataraman offered to keep Gammy.
Now, do we know? You said you didn't know much about this going in, so I, probably asking too detailed a question here.
Yeah.
But was this a fertilized egg that was implanted in this chick? Are the two buyers actually the biological parents, or is this his sperm and the surrogate's egg?
I don't know. That's what I mean by I
Like,
don't know how this
yeah.
works.
Like, do they have any grounds to really blame this chick or the agency, or is it their fucked up DNA? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, is
good
it their?
question.
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know how it works with this case, and of course, you're kind of getting half the story anytime you print any story like this out. But they're thinking. So when she says, "I'll keep Gammy," I'll keep Gammy. Once she said that, they were thinking, "Whew, all right, that'll work.
Yeah.
This actually might work out okay.
Right.
You keep the fucked up one, and we'll take the girl with us." Ha! Break. Well, when the babies were born, the Farnells said they realized they wanted to keep both. But then the girl, the surrogate, then insisted she be allowed to keep Gammy and threatened to keep Pippa as well.
Well, that makes them look good. So that's the story they're sticking to.
Right. The couple believes that Pataraman wanted to keep Gammy because male children are prized in Asian cultures. Male children with Down syndrome, are they as prized in over there? I don't know. Maybe they are, but they said they never went to any official or contacted the Australian embassy in Bangkok about her alleged threat. They left Gammy and returned home to Australia only with Pippa because their visa was running out. How convenient. They didn't apply for visa extensions because they wanted to get Pippa to Australia to keep her away from this woman. Their plan was to fight to get their son back by going through the Australian authorities. Sounds good, right? They're going to fight. They're going to fight for this boy that they so badly want that they would have terminated the pregnancy early.
Right.
But now they really want this baby. But then in the 6 months since they've been back in Australia, they have never contacted the authorities about their son because they still feel that their daughter is at risk of being taken back. They never called to check on Gammy's welfare either. Oh, boy.
Yeah, they'd have
Sounds
been
like they're
better off just coming home and not mention it to anybody.
How about we don't talk to 60 Minutes?
Because that was going to be my question. Like, how did people find out about this? Who outed them? But I guess they did it to themselves.
Well, they're doing interviews. It's been very stressing. We miss our little boy. I come home for work some days, and Wendy has dressed our little girl all in blue because she still wants to remember the little boy. She wants to remember the little boy that we've never called about. We've never contacted anyone about.
Yeah, we would have
6
killed.
months.
Admittedly, we would have killed him.
We would have. Had we known, you should have known it was going to be fucked up, and we could have terminated this early. Early, way early. This is bullshit. We want a full refund, but we love the little boy so much. Who is this, Don Sterling?
Right.
Oh,
Kill him! He's retarded! Fuck him! I love him so much. I just wanted to take him home. That's all I wanted. Fuck him! He's retarded! Kill him! Full refund!
real people, Jay.
Wow.
Lastly, he rejected the suggestion that his pre-dereliction for young girls had influenced his decision to bring the daughter home. I'm actually ashamed you would say something like that. Honestly.
How could you, right?
How dare you? I'll get you for this, interviewer. How dare you? Just because I diddled all those other young girls. This one's my daughter. Honestly, there's no reason to be concerned. I'm not going to harm my little girls. Everybody hates sex offenders. They're the lowest form of people, not even worthy of breathing, except me.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, well, I guess you're right.
I know that. That's why I've tried so hard and wanted to be a good father for my children, so at least the people can see that I'm a good person now. This is Don Sterling giving this interview. 60 Minutes said the Farnells were not paid for the interview, but they acknowledged that the program had made a healthy donation to a charity raising money for Gammy's care. Oh, Gammy's still alive? I didn't know that. He's still being cared for? What street corner does Gammy live on? I want him back so badly. We love him so.
Wow.
Christ.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I really want to know, though, whose chromosomes were they?
Eric, do a research. Astronom file.
Oh, you know what? No, absolutely. I want to know, too.
Because if it's just straight up them, I mean, what are they blaming? Yeah.
Don't blame the oven. You fucked up the pizza before it went in.
Exactly.
Your pizza came up fucked up because how you put it in the oven. Don't blame the oven. But it brings up an interesting point. If you, for those of you out there who are having kids, and I'm not joking about anything, but if you knew early on that you were problems, whether it was 10 toes and 10 fingers, or if it was going to have Down syndrome. Now I have a very good friend with a daughter with Downs, and they love her to death. So that said, that's a tough decision to make. Life is difficult.
Well, there are that test that they referred to. I think they're referring to the amniocentesis, or however you say it, amnio.
Look at the big brain on Jay.
Yeah, no, really. They can take some fluid out and do tests on it, and Downs is one of the things that they can detect. So I think there are a lot of people who do that
and terminate.
And I believe so. And I know that.
Could you blame them? Really?
I personally wouldn't do that.
Are you against abortion?
Yeah.
In all cases, rape, anything like that?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a very tough one.
But I would not personally do that. And I know that once women get older, there's a huge your chances skyrocket for Downs.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I know with older women particularly, they do those tests.
Yeah, I guess it goes back to the age-old question of when is a life a life. Some people believe it's when they take their first breath. Some people believe at inception.
Yep.
Conception, excuse me. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't need to discuss all that shit. But I think it would be very, very difficult to get that word early on before you get to a point where you're even showing. and to find out that there's an issue that is going to be a medical disaster for life, that you're setting yourself up knowingly for a medical potential disaster for
a pain
life.
in the ass for sure.
Yeah, and you can love it forever, and you would, and who wouldn't? Every parent would, of course, but it's a lot of work that people aren't signing up for when they decide to have a kid. That's not what anybody thinks is going to be the outcome. So it would be very hard.
Well, I think you are signing up for it.
Really?
But it's not the ideal, you know? I mean, everybody pictures the ideal, but...
I think if Beth and I were to get pregnant tomorrow,
that's
not what anybody's signing up for.
Well, yeah, of course you want a healthy kid. You want a kid with 10 fingers, 10 toes, but, you know, you get one with 8, what are you going to do?
Oh, you kill it. For sure. Fucking
and then you back that up into the more extreme situation of Downs and all that. I get it. It becomes a tougher call.
What if you've got one with extreme retardation and is never going to be... I mean, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
where do you draw the line? Like, seriously, you're saying, okay, we could end this right now. The kid's never been here. It doesn't know anything. And you can not have that. Not basically turning your entire world upside down.
Yeah.
It'd be very hard not to
do that. It would be, but
do that.
I believe... You know, good can come of any life, so it's not my call, honestly.
Yeah.
And you can all you want.
No, I think that's
it's not
very
my
easy
call,
to
dude.
say when you don't have that staring at you.
Dude, I had 3 kids. I had 3 pregnancies, and I can had the babies. So
yeah, and I know my sister just had a baby, healthy as can be, of course. But when they were doing the test, they had decided that they would terminate if there was anything wrong. They did those
monster,
tests. Right? But about a week later, before they got the results, and I think there was an envelope situation, Jen looked at my sister and went, I don't care what that envelope says. That's our kid.
Yeah.
And that was a couple that was planning on, like, if it's something we're not expecting, let's plan to terminate. Okay, team break. And then when push came to shove, before the envelope was open, it was like, I don't give a fuck what that thing says. That's our kid in there. And
I think a lot of people would say that.
Yeah, when you start seeing, and I've never been in that position, but I know from experience just with talking to them that that's what they were looking at, and it changed before it got to a point, and it didn't matter, but, you know, before they'd open the envelope, they had the discussion, like, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could. So I understand how difficult that would be. It's a really, really tough, and I don't mean to make light of it. I know it's a joking show that we're doing here, but that's a real serious, tough position.
And I don't think it's just to me, and obviously I'm not even close.
I would terminate the fuck out of it, by the way, just for the record. Just saying that.
Well, I would say
Just
sometimes you
getting that
mentioned
out
the dad, you know, the dad being tough on them, but dude, even for the kid, like, his whole life is going to be hard too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just even the parents. I mean, you talk about,
and that's why I would do it for the kids.
Really, you're gonna make the judgment that his life?
Don't you play God on
dude.
me, mister.
Look, dude. I don't want to make that judgment. I don't want to live with that. That's not.
Yeah. I'm just saying, dude. Personally, I'm against abortion. Honestly, I'm pro whatever life.
Whatever. I've thought about this really long, for years.
Well,
I'm pro. Is that choice
I'm
or?
Just saying. I mean, personally, that's what I believe. I'm just saying, though, it's not. I know you're right. What you're saying, you're not going to make that choice for him, but I'm saying, you know.
No, he's not.
I mean, he could be. What if you knew he's going to be in a wheelchair his whole life? I'm just saying.
I recognize what you're saying. Yeah.
That's all.
It's tough.
That's all I'm saying.
It's a very, very, very tough, difficult situation, and I don't think anybody can make that call for anybody else. Everybody's decisions are based on what is going on in their world, and for some people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that thing comes out with just a head. That's what it is. What it is. This is what God gave us. We'll be happy for it.
Well, I would just.
And there are some people that feel like I do, like I'm not.
It's not exactly perfect.
Yeah, well, I better have blue eyes and blonde hair. That's all I'm saying. She better be gorgeous.
Because you have brown and brown.
That's
so.
right.
Well, I would just
I'm
feel.
not taking it.
I would just feel so
That's
bad.
Blue eyes and blonde hair better win out.
If I were to have something like that I couldn't like because if my financial situation where I felt like I couldn't provide.
Don't worry, dude. We'll castrate you before you can get to this point.
Oh, trust me.
This is not. You won't have to make
I've
this.
decided
your kid would be born and be like, oh God, I can't get my retarded dad back.
Well, dude, I've already decided. I was talking to
How nice of you to spare me, retard.
Half pterodactyl looking thing.
He'll probably have a gorgeous kid or something.
I've absolutely made jokes with my friends before to my parents. I wonder if I think they're still wishing that maybe they could have. If they could go back.
We should have done the test.
My dad could be retired by now if it weren't for me, dude. Like, he'd be in Florida. But anyway, that's another story for another day.
No, they still have Nana in their dining room on the couch. So you're not the only anchor.
No, I told my friends that she has positive income coming in. She's got Social Security coming in.
Now we know.
See, she's bringing to the table.
I know,
she's
she's
contributing
still
to this team.
something to the table, dude.
Team Fady carries on with Nana.
I'm a full-on negative in the Fady household right now.
But you are such a positive for the Detroit.
I know.
Pistons.
What makes me a negative in that life?
Well, do you and Nana balance out, do you think?
What?
Do you and Nana balance out? She's got her Social Security. You've got your...
I still think I'm probably bringing it down a little bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, but I was just, whatever. I was going to get into an aspect of I was talking about having kids even this weekend, and I said, dude, I wouldn't want it only because I have a buddy who works teaching, when he's in like the 8th grade, 7th grade, and nowadays just with like the phones, and we've talked about it here before, and them getting, God, I wouldn't want to have kids because I don't want to have to deal with my slutty daughter getting knocked up, and then I got to take care of, like I can barely take care of myself, dude. I don't want to deal with that.
True. It's a good
and
point.
I don't feel like I could control her, so. And I can't control that I have a boy or a girl. If I could not have a girl, or if I could only have a boy, then I'd be in.
How old is Nana, by the way?
God, I don't know exactly.
Fuck,
I know
doesn't
she's
even...
in her late 80s.
Yeah. Was she pretty with it when she was 78?
Oh, no, it was only been in the last... oh, boy.
Well, no, I'm just asking.
Oh, boy.
No.
Okay. Oh, no. It's honest to God, for her, it's only been in the last few years that she's gotten... you talk about it all the time. You talk about, married couples that die and one dies right after and whatnot. Yeah. And with her, it was like, until my grandpa died, she was boom because she had to be. Because he had, she had to take care of him. And once he died, it's not that she went downhill right away, but it definitely started. You know what I mean? Because she didn't have that.
Florida woman who allegedly was caught carrying almost $41,000 cash through customs. Yeah, which with much of the cash reportedly hidden in her undergarments.
Undergarments.
Yeah,
Gross.
she had her thong on. Grandma.
Nobody will look there.
And her daughter were stopped while trying to board a flight to the Philippines in Detroit Metro. Okay. Yeah, attempting to smuggle the cash through airport security. How much they were carrying? She reportedly said $200. Her daughter was carrying $1,200. Farron later reported carrying $1,200 on a written declaration, a figure change that made officials suspicious. So first she says $200.
Place.
Because she's traveling.
See big lumps in her tits?
No.
Big square lumps, rectangle?
Don't they ask on any international flight?
Yeah, on the declaration, but why would they have asked before, Timko?
Because they started searching her luggage and stuff. They asked her, do you have anything to declare? No, nothing. I got $200 in cash on me.
Okay.
So when they started going through like her suitcase and shit like that, they found all these little hidden things of money. So it's like, I just found this. What else have you got? Nothing. They found something else. What else have you got? So her own demeanor.
Okay, and then you have that written declaration that you reference that you always do. And, and she put 1,200, so yeah.
So there was a
snake.
discrepancy.
Something's going on with this old bird.
Something is. I have a feeling the daughter has more to do with this story than Nana. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe she just slid it in there.
They're both mules.
Maybe they are. Federal law requires travelers to declare to customs if you're carrying more than $10,000 in cash, which is why you see a lot of times shady deals go down for $9,500 or $9,900, getting under that $10,000 deal. Farron allegedly first denied carrying anything other than the $1,200 she had written down, but an initial inspection of her bag yielded $8,000 stashed in various wallets. Officers again asked if she was carrying any more cash. No, this is all the money. After a closer exam, they allegedly found an additional $4,000 sewed into a cloth pouch and almost $1,000 hidden in sealed envelopes. A total of almost $13,000 had reportedly been found in her carry-on bag alone. Then admitted to officers, this Farron did, that she was carrying $3,000 in her blouse, $2,000 sewn in her bra strap. Jeez. She had told officers she had no more cash on her, nothing.
Then they checked her asshole.
Then they patted her down and detected a bulge near her buttocks.
No, I was hoping I was wrong on that.
Nope, you were right on. That's where they found $5,000 in the back of her girdle. Yeah.
Her girdle.
I know, girdle.
That's great.
She says then.
Why does that sound so much? Doesn't that just sound so much more gross than you said?
Yes, in her thong.
Yeah.
In her thong. She was
I
carrying
would've-
$5,000 in her thong.
Yeah,
Although
I would rather have a 78-year-old have it in a thong than a girdle.
Girdle. She told officers she hadn't been carrying any more. An officer then discovered another bulge in the front by her vagine.
Damn it.
The vagine bulge.
Why aren't you at this point
She just said, I'm unkempt. It's got a bulge. Big deal.
Trim it down there?
No. But the front of the girdle spoke otherwise, and that's when the woman broke down crying and admitted to carrying more cash. $21,000 was hidden in the girdle alone.
Jesus.
She'd been carrying $40,977, which she allegedly said she got from selling her home to her son for $120,000. She said she'd been carrying the cash herself because she believed it would be safer than wiring the money to the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah, her daughter, who lives with the older woman, told officers she had no idea the mother was carrying this amount of cash, and that her mother was old. Sure. No charges were placed, but officers seized $40,977 as currency forfeitable to the United States. Assistant U.S. Attorney John Junkai is petitioning to have the cash forfeited to the government. So basically, that means that Nana's $40,000 is now property of the United States government. End of story. Like, where did we make that jump that you are guilty, bitch, and just because you didn't declare it, it is ours. Thank you very much.
We're all very suspicious of why Nana was crotching $40,000, right?
Well, she claims that she just sold her house.
Right. But
Yeah.
we're all very, very
Well,
suspicious
why would she
of that.
keep it in her? Obviously, if she sold a house and it was legit.
Well,
Because she was under the impression that it's illegal to carry that much money out. She didn't realize you just had to declare, because they had a story. I don't know if you saw the one. There's another guy that did that. Same thing happened to him, and he lost, I think, even a larger amount of money.
Okay, well
and
we
they
need
said if you just declared it, you would have been fine.
we need a PSA then to get out to all these old people, because they're breaking the law and they're going to get their money taken.
They're criminals. I don't understand how we make the jump from, like, pay a small fine and carry on with your life.
The government gets it all.
The government gets it all. Thank you very much. Like, why do we make that jump all of a sudden?
Awesome.
Like, guilty until proven innocent, and fuck your money, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Why does it go there?
Prove that
'Cause
it's clean.
the fact is, there are a lot of old people who don't trust banks. They've stuffed money in their fucking mattresses and their walls at home.
Oh yeah.
We had that story with the couch that they found $100,000 or $40,000 in
Right.
because some old lady stashed it there. That happens.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who don't trust banks. They don't trust wire systems. And some foreign woman doesn't know the exact legalities of the system. Maybe she does. Obviously, her behavior says otherwise. And I tend to usually side with the police on things, but it just seems like, wait a minute. I don't understand the connection between she made a mistake or broke the law, whatever, and now you get all of it.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Like, where did we come up with that? And to say just declare it, well, that's not quite so simple, because you can't just declare it. You have to prove that you legally obtained it. You have to prove that it's not from drug running or from some other
and she won't be able to do
illegal
that
matters.
because she, quote unquote, sold her house to her son, right?
I guess.
Yeah, okay,
Or
Nana.
maybe
Lock her
Nana's
up. Lock her up. Take all her money.
Nana's the greatest grandma stripper in America, and she just works for tips, and she doesn't have a paper trail. She can't prove
Everybody's
that she got
stuffing
it.
shit in her girdle.
That's right. She's been blowing dudes at the bar for months for $100 a
God.
pop. She saved $40,000, life savings and blowjobs, and now she's got no paper trail. She wasn't getting receipts from every dick she blew.
Yeah.
You just don't do that. That's not practical.
Yeah. So
And here we were going to say bingo winnings, but no, stripper.
I'm thinking she was blowing dudes clearly. I don't know. I've seen this. We've heard this type of story before, where someone gets pulled over with big amounts of cash on them. I just don't think it's that crazy that people that have a lot of money go to the casino and make $200,000 winnings. That happens all the time. So
Yeah,
is it just they want their cut or
it's
something?
a deterrent. I guess it has a deterrent factor to it that, hey, don't fuck around with this kind of law, dude. It does seem weird,
It
that
does,
they walk.
doesn't it?
That's their money now.
Yeah. We're petitioning the U.S. government to keep the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That seems a bit harsh. Whatever. You just stole Nana's savings. How is that any different than stealing Nana's savings? I mean, and I don't know. Maybe she's a drug mule. Who knows? But If she's not, I feel bad for her. If she just sold her house to her kid for 120 grand and was trying to get 40 grand into the Philippines, I feel bad for her.
Hey, Eric, you should check Nana's dining room couch, see if there's anything sewn in there.
Well,
Yeah,
the problem
there you
is
go.
I would do that.
But
if
she's
it
always
was-
sitting
if it
her
was
fat ass on it.
house. If it wasn't that she was living in our house.
Well, she didn't.
Yeah.
Have, her sewing skills were gone by the time she got to your house.
I'm not saying that. I'm just, well, I don't know.
Eric,
I guess I don't know. You're right. I'll check them out tomorrow.
Eric, have you ever been confronted by Grandma's Nana's girdle?
No. Although.
Oh no! What happened?
No, not me.
No,
I
she
I
walked.
just know somebody
Oh,
in our
God.
house has to like.
What?
White.
There's a little
Yeah,
issue
they help.
with it.
Yeah. No, but she's
Bowel
never
movement.
never like walked out in a state of undress. Or
No,
anything?
not that I've seen, but no. Like I said, it's getting a little.
Well, we have just a couple minutes left, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't go through Eric's journal, diary, journal.
Thank you.
No lock on here, it just says journal. Yeah, it says journal right on here. You can't claim it's a diary when it says
Exactly.
journal on there.
Exactly. See, very manly.
Very manly. This is anything but manly. And Eric was trying to downplay this on Friday. He was like, I just made a couple entries. I don't know if the camera can pick that up.
I can't believe
300
how much I
pages.
did. I'm shocked. Because I
Oh, I
remember a
can.
few different times in my life. I think I started this. I think I've had other ones. I don't think I have them anymore, but I've tried this a few times, and I know for a fact there's been times where I kind of tried it, and a week later I was done, and whatever.
Well, I don't know how we should do this. I feel like every one of these needs to be read. So I'm thinking maybe we just do like 3 a day and we just do Eric's journal entries and just start going through them.
Yeah.
You know what?
See
Why
what his
not?
mindset of.
That's
So
nice.
how old were you here? In 2001?
2001.
Are we going to start from the beginning or just kind of like?
We start from the beginning.
Okay.
What do you think? Would you rather do something else?
No, I thought it might be fun just to pick a spot, but
Well,
Then the problem is then you won't know.
yeah, it might play on each other, so it might be nice. It'll be like a soap opera that
2001. What I would have been
Yeah.
like
unravels.
maybe a junior in high school because I feel like I say that I'm driving, but I graduated in 03, so that can't be right.
wow, you're taking a week off all of a sudden, right out of the gate too. He's 3 days in. He's taking a week off.
No, dude, I know.
Easy, all the way back then. All right, we'll start at November 12th, 2001.
Oh my- Dude, I actually was worried because I know for a fact
Those.
I can't find it.
Search your room.
I'll look, but I can't. I don't think I can find it. But I know for a fact because I think back then I was in like 7th grade and I think I had like my first real crush on a girl and I think I
Oh,
remember
no.
talking about it.
You think you remember time?
Was this like a therapist that told you to do
No.
this or what?
Believe it or
No?
not, I've
You
never
just-
seen a therapist.
just thought of it?
I actually the problem is I think I probably should, but I've always told my friends the problem is I think if I went and got quote unquote cured, then my humor would suck. So I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be worth anything
It's
because my
afraid to
humor
get
all comes
ruined
from
by a
self-deprecating
therapist.
crap. So
Well, why don't we start with November 12th, 2001?
Sounds
We'll just pick
sounds
up
good.
there.
Yeah.
All right.
oh my
So hold on, wait. Before you start, we're 2 months after September 11th. So
That's right.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the
So
nation
he's
is on
probably-
edge. The
the
nation is on edge.
The nation is
That is
way
right,
on edge.
but-
Great point.
But let's see what Eric's thinking.
oh my god.
Well, that changes everything.
I mean, there's some heavy shit going on, right?
We haven't even at November. I don't even know if we're running commercials.
8.2.
So let's
but
see.
yet Eric
let's
has
see where
some
Eric's at.
concerns.
November 12th, 2001. Great observation, Jay. That was
That's
awesome.
hilarious. That is that's funny.
I woke up at 6 a.m., had my usual oatmeal and toast. My first hour went well. I had ravioli, Raviole, jokes, Joaked, around. We joked around. We talked about going to college at Grand Valley State University.
That is a good joke.
When I left school at 2:15, it took me 15 minutes to get home. Once home, I watched a race and TV till 4. I did homework until 5:45. Then I made mac and cheese for dinner. I then did physics with my dad. After that, I watched the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Then went to bed at 12. Eric Fady.
Jeez. Again, heavy. It's a heavy time in our
It
nation.
is.
Oh
It
my
is.
God. So embarrassing.
No, yes, it is. I know. November 13th, the very next day. Today, school had a late start. Late start day. I got to sleep in, although I'm not a late sleeper, so I still woke up at 7. In Spanish today, we had a fiesta and got to eat food all hour. Chris and I joked all 5th hour about the Lions.
That was a good joke.
After school, I had an ortho appointment. As usual, my mom had to make fun of me by telling me she did not trust that I was wearing my retainer and made fun of me. I was so tired that I had to take a nap after school. Then once again, AGEN, I got in a fight with my mom about school. This is not what the fight was about, but every time we get in these fights, I present whether
Cry and piss my pants.
you
No?
think I don't know what that
Did I
is.
see it or you want me to look?
Yeah, I quit. I question. Is that question?
Holy shit.
Oh no, that's not question.
That's not question.
No, not even close.
Oh my God, that's what my 5-year-old would have done. Was it
Yeah.
QUI?
Oh yeah, she doesn't use N-words. She
Right.
doesn't like the N-word
Right.
because she's not a
Yeah.
racist.
Exactly.
That's right. So pants becomes pats, and monster becomes monster because she doesn't use the N-words. This is not what the fight was about, but every time we get in these fights, I question QUSTON whether WEATHER or not I am going to college or not. I want to go, but I don't know with my grades. Well, I'll tell more later.
Well, that played out.
God. Oh
Okay.
no. Pretty soon, I think you might get into something that some of my possible career paths. I don't know if you read that or
Oh
not.
no.
November 14th, 2001. Should we end on this one?
A heavy time in our nation. Don't forget.
It is a very heavy time. Somber time, in fact,
Yeah.
some would say. There's a lot of concerts going on around the nation trying to
Mhm.
raise money for the victims
yeah.
of 9/11. It's basically a rubble state going on down there. I
Jesus
think
Christ.
the Twin Towers are still smoldering, right?
Yeah,
We're
for
still
sure.
seeing smoldering.
I'd like to go
The
with
bodies
daily
haven't fully
lives.
been
You're just sitting there
recovered.
every day just questioning everything.
Everyday life in Eric Fady's world is perfect. It's going swimmingly, according to plan. Post haste, if you will. I'll be going to college post haste.
Oh,
I woke up at 6 today. In lunch, I got into a fight with some friends on who was better, Michigan or State. Also on whether or not I was a redneck. Jessica said I was not, but I insisted I was. INSESTED. We never finished the argument.
I so remember that argument too to this day.
You said you were a redneck, and she
had
said
this-
you weren't.
Dude, when I was in high school, I was so on the bandwagon, dude. I had the cowboy boots going, the rebel
what a
flag. I was like,
Oh.
I was a rebel, man.
Oh, buddy. Let's see here. Yesterday, when I talked about going or not going to college. What? We never finished the argument. Period. Yesterday, when I talked about going or not going to college. Period. Okay. I have always wanted to be a truck driver. Truck driver. But I also want to be a teacher.
Oh shit.
Special ed teacher, is it perhaps, Eric? You want to teach the less
You
fortunate,
know what's funny
do
that
you?
you mentioned special ed?
I feel like I can relate to him.
It's funny. You actually might want me to do this. Actually, you might be all right down for this. My one buddy who is teaching already, but he's going into his master's to work in special education. And when we were driving home from a wedding I was at this weekend, he was telling me that he wouldn't mind having me take like maybe this special ed test and see like how I fared or something. I don't exactly know what it tests, but something with special ed. Anyway.
Well, when I got home, I did some homework and watched TV. For dinner, we had fiestas. I liked them. Well, goodbye,
Fiestas.
B-U-Y.
Fajitas. But he said fiestas.
F-I-E something T-A-S.
He still had that Spanish party from 2 days earlier on his mind.
Right.
Oh, we ate food the whole time.
Well, goodbye, B-U-Y.
Holy shit.
Apparently he had a goodbye that day. I don't know. Got something on sale. It was a goodbye. I went to Meijer with a coupon.
Oh my
Goodbye.
God.
And we
Wow.
will leave there with Eric Fady's
We'll
diary.
just dog ear that page and
Yep.
come back to it tomorrow, folks.
That is a fancy looking diary, my man. Oh, that is just rich, Eric. Thank you so much for mentioning that you and the rest of the girls in school had these diaries. But never filled one out. Your penmanship is better at this age in such a horrible time in our nation, as 2001 really was.
Christ, like, just because there was, I get it, September 11th happened. Was I supposed to stop my life and mourn every day?
Apparently not. No, you didn't. No, it's the last thing you would have doing. No, things were going swimmingly for Eric Fady. That's all we're learning here.
Oh my
God, I wish you would have started
You're
that
gonna
in
have a fun
September,
time reading
you know,
this, 'cause
to
I
see
know.
if you even mentioned it.
I know, on the 11th.
Yeah.
Weird
Like,
day.
well,
We got a free day off today. Which is awesome because September 12th, my new favorite day of the year. We got the day off for some reason. I don't know.
Actually, I did have a cross-country meet that day, and it got canceled because of September 11th. But
Oh.
I hate the terrorists. They canceled my track meet.
although I had a math teacher, every other teacher I had in my every other teacher that day, of course, we just talked about September 11th, but my geometry teacher said that even though it was a big deal, we still had to do our geometry. The only teacher that we didn't watch the stuff.
Life goes on.
What?
I know. It was a terrible time for me. I remember September 11th happened on a Tuesday, which is the night I do my titty bar gigs in Canada. And I remember Steve, the sales guy that sold it. I was going, dude, the titty bar gig is over. It's a different world we're living in now. No way. He's trying to get me to go there for, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
God.
it'll be on. It's going. You got to be in Canada. And I was like, dude, no. I've never been back to Canada.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Since
I
then.
did that gig every Tuesday for 5 years, and I've never been back since September 11th. That was the last time I went across the border.
That's
in
crazy.
Canada. Yeah. All right, why don't we kill it there? And thank you, Eric, again for.
I will
bringing
say
that in.
this.
Oh yeah, do you want to mention that? Yeah, we can mention that.
If you real quick, by the way, when you get
Yeah.
to the end, you'll have a fun time because about halfway through, I decided I'm going to start writing it all cursive. So you'll. Have
I noticed that. I bet.
It's a Danielian or cursive?
I-
No, don't know. Okay, go on.
Yeah, Timko mentions corn dog. We got an email from someone over the weekend. It was really funny. And it kind of plays on the whole, look at my dick, look at my dick, look at my dick and balls.
Kind of plays on that.
Well, yeah, it absolutely plays on that, which is fun. I think these guys are shit-faced, which is awesome. It says woohoo or whistles. Is that how it starts, or is there a second part of that email? Here, why don't you read it, Jay?
Yep. Hey guys, been listening to the podcast since they started. Had been listening to D&M since I was 15. I'm 32 now. Moved out of Michigan in 2004 and have been listening online since then. I live outside Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm currently in Norfolk, Virginia, working. Listening to the podcast, I found the "look at my dick" hilarious. I have then passed it on to my coworkers. We work construction, and instead of the typical woohoo or whistles to get each other's attention, it's been replaced with "look at my dick." And he says,
awesome.
"Here's a video of us doing the look at my dick. We were all drinking in the parking lot and convinced them to take the video. Hope you enjoy it."
Oh, that's great. Let's see what they did.
Detroit Cast, Jay, Mike Walters, Eric Fady, ready? Look at my dick! Look at my dick! Look at my dick!
Just a bunch of dudes in a parking lot drinking.
Yeah,
I like the
awesome.
guy to the right of the screen that's just kind of fluffing it. He's just kind of going like this.
Look at my
Just kind of
dick, look at
flipping. You know,
The guy in the
everybody's
white.
yeah, just that dude. Look at him. He's just a little fluff.
Look at my dick! Look at my dick!
Look at him.
They're all just shit-faced.
Everybody else is doing the big wanking moves.
Which one's the corn dog? That guy there?
Well done, corn dog.
Very well done. I love it. I love the idea of listeners running with Detroit Cast stuff. Like anywhere you can get
It's
the Detroit
hilarious.
Cast name out there helps us tremendously. And I love stuff like this, especially the fact that they're out of state. That's just mind-blowing to me that people are out of the state listening to our little show. And
Yelling back and forth to each other at construction sites. Look at my dick.
Look at my That was such a random thing that day. Like that wasn't planned. It was just like, what's the matter with people? Going up to strangers, rolling down my window. Yeah, look at my dick, look at my dick, look at my dick. Check out my dick and balls. Like that was so random, and for people to pick up on it and do that's awesome.
I like how Jay points out too that his concern is they're in the parking lot drinking, but you have a shit fit over people texting and driving, but you're okay with this, Jay?
Yeah, right.
Oh, they have a
they all have
cooler in the back
DDs.
of their truck. These
Yeah,
guys
they
have
do.
a cooler in the back of
This
their
is
truck,
clearly an after-work deal. They just all they
which
all
we've
met
done
up with.
1,000 times.
They've all got designated drivers. They're fine.
Absolutely.
You know that.
Mrs. Corn Dog comes and picks him up.
Mrs. Corn Dog.
As Beth points out, we drink and drive every time we go out. She drinks and I drive. Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to see people. I watch like Good Morning America on ABC a lot of mornings, and they've always got the crowd behind them, and there's some dipshit holding up. I'm from Wisconsin. It's my 30th birthday. I'm with Nana. My name's Eric Fady. Everyone's holding up signs. I'm from Dallas. I would die if I saw like a Detroit Cast sign up there. Look at my dick on national TV. That'd be awesome. Anywhere you can get the Detroit Cast name or sign or show a video of it, we love it. We'll always promote it here. So there's some incentive for you. But why don't we wrap it up? It's getting late here. So why don't we wrap it for a Monday edition of the Detroit Cast? Feel free to send us emails, thedetroitcast@gmail.com, and whatever else. Donate to the show. Hit the store. Buy a new hat, T-shirt, whatever. Buy your dog a sweatshirt.
Share us on Facebook.
Share us on Facebook like crazy. Register if you haven't done that yet. All that good stuff. And we'll tomorrow we'll read some more of Eric's diary. We'll get into that. As Jay said, very very tough time for our country, and it's really you can just sense it and pick it up in his writings. You really can.
It's dark.
It's a troubled kid at this time, and not worried about the little things. I mean, it's really kind of swung and put life in perspective.
Yeah, it is.
When you
see what the young man was going through at that point. Yeah, it's tough, man.
It shows. So we'll get into a lot of that tomorrow on the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. You know not what